This is Doreen. We are at Consensus 2023, and I am here with Bobby Hundreds, co-founder of The Hundreds. Hey, Bobby.
Hello. Hey, happy to be here.
So you just got off your panel just now. What was it? What was it like?
It was great. You know, Sam asked me to come to Consensus. I'm overwhelmed by this conference. I totally underestimated the magnitude of this thing. And Sam ended up hosting myself, Kevin Rose, who I have so much respect for. I don't think we've ever shared a stage together. And the conversation, I think, was very much needed.
If you had known this was a bigger production, would you stage a protest here like you did at NFT NYC?
Yeah, we probably would have come up with like a pretty fun marketing stunt. But no, I mean, in all honesty, like I'm just quite impressed. It's cool to see so many people out here from the ecosystem that are still really down for this, trying to figure problems out. And this has always been one of the most creative seasons of my life. You know, I've never seen such innovation, dynamic tech, and progress in any other culture, sector, industry, and Consensus is exemplary for that.
So I want to talk to you about streetwear, even though I'm going to try to connect NFTs to it.
Yes.
I read your monologue.
Yes.
And I think you made a really good point that streetwear, they had a whole decade to kind of establish as a cultural presence. And then the whole reselling stuff kind of took over the narrative.
Yes.
And then with NFTs, I feel like the speculation came first, so the reselling stuff. Do you think NFT adoption happened too fast?
I think it did happen too fast, and I don't think it's to knock anyone. We were all very excited to get into it. We were also, fish in a barrel. It was the pandemic. Everyone was stuck at home. We were living more and more online, and we were looking for what the next big thing was. And it is Web3 and NFTs. However, we didn't give the culture the appropriate amount of time to forge and to have a foundation. And we sped right up to the ending, which was just about reselling and flipping. And when you do that with any culture, look, this didn't just happen in Web3 and NFTs. It happened in, I wrote a monologue, my Substack today, about mid-century modern glass. Saw the same thing happen within its community. When it became only about trading and flipping, sports cards, luxury handbags, Rolexes, streetwear and sneakers, especially on StockX. And you forget or you negate or neglect the most critical parts of it, which is these are stories of people, this is art made by creators, these are communities that have come together to build a brand. When you negate and neglect all of that, then the bottom falls out. Because at the end of the day, money's all green. And whether it's coming from Ethereum, whether it's coming from NFTs or sneakers, we are not going to be very discerning about that. And so whichever green is coming in more, we're just going to move on to the next one, and then we're going to eviscerate a culture and a system and leave it for dead. And so I was really concerned watching this happen in NFTs because I'd seen it so many times happen with sneakers before. It did happen. And so now is the time for us to remind everybody that it's about the art, it's about the culture, it's about the community. And there might be money out there, and it'll be more sustainable money. Sneakers had to go through a few seasons of this to get to a point now where we have a really viable and vibrant culture, and then we also have people making money selling sneakers, and it can all work together.
I've been wanting to ask you this for so long. What is your biggest sneaker flex?
Oh, my biggest sneaker flex. Oh gosh! Right now in the closet, I've gotten robbed for my sneakers before. Like I've lost some of my most favorite pairs.
Did you talk to the media?
Yeah, because people just know I'm like a sitting duck. So I don't have many pairs left, but in my closet right now, I still have like a fresh pair of Dunkles and Diamond Dunks, and I'm from the original Dunk era of the early 2000s. And I don't really wear Dunks anymore, but just to have them is meaningful. I don't know. Right now I'm wearing Jound New Balances. I love my Salomons. I love my Asics. I've weirdly been getting back into Vans because trail shoes have been so popular for the last 4 or 5 years that I'm like, maybe I feel like Volksoul's just a way that I've always looked at shoes from the perspective of the rest of the dress, and everything is only getting boxier and bigger, and it complements better with like a low-rise Volk shoe. And so Vans are kind of on my radar again.
I'm a little upset to hear that, but fashion is cyclical.
It is.
Yes, it was Dunks, and now I feel like everyone's wearing the 550s.
Yes, yeah. There are a lot of New Balances out here today.
My biggest flex, Travis Scott's.
Oh, wait, which ones?
The low Jordan
The
ones.
J ones?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
Those are great. That's a great shoe.
It is a great shoe.
Yeah.
And I got it as a gift, so
Oh.
I didn't have to spend any greens.
Yes.
Last thing, I know you wanted to talk about your book.
Yeah.
NFTs are a scam.
That's right.
Why are NFTs a scam?
Well, that's a question that I'm leaving up to the reader, right? And I think we are all working on this definition in real time. And it's one thing for me to suggest it. The full title of the book is NFTs Are a Scam, NFTs Are the Future. And I called it that because I was really amazed how quickly people were rushing to declare judgments on this new technology over the last 2 years. And it might be more symbolic of larger culture where we are rushing to verdicts. We want to know the truth. We want answers now. How's this project going to turn out now? When am I going to make money? When? WEN, when? And the reality is that especially with technology, we have to give these spaces room to grow. We have to give this tech the room to breathe and to organically manifest and to realize, right? And so for us to quickly rush to a poll of NFTs are a scam or NFTs are the future, which a lot of pro NFT people did, saying, making these really loud proclamations. Web 2 is dead, Web 3 is the only way now, traditional money is gone, fiat money is dead, it's only about crypto. These absolute cement statements, we get into dangerous territory, and people were being very tribal about it. You rarely found someone who was in the middle with NFTs and were just kind of like, oh, I'm just here to watch it happen. And that was me over the last 2 years. I just wanted to see where it was going. And
I think that's with everything. I don't think that's just with NFTs. I feel like
right.
people are very polarized.
People are polarized.
Even with sneakers, there were people who told me you cannot crease your Dunks,
Yes.
and there were people who wear them every day. So
the opinions are really heavy. The condemnations are just as heavy, and I think we stymie and stunt progress when we get into this territory of I'm absolutely right and you're absolutely wrong. And so the take-home message from the book is really, it's much too early to tell. I don't think we'll know in another 5 years. I don't think we'll know in 50 years. These technologies are going to continue to evolve. The internet's been around for as long as I've been alive. It's gone through many different iterations of being useful, productive, efficient, to also being scammy, to also being the bane of our existence, right? And that's the entire narrative of what the internet is. Web3 NFTs arguably only been around several years, 3 to 4 years, really the last 2 years in mainstream culture. Much too early to say whether they are a scam or the future, but we are all here to figure it out, and I hope we can build that definition together.
all right. Thank you so much for chatting with me.
Thank you. Thanks, Consensus.